Gonna be the first on the dance floor, the first to raise my hand, the first to state my opinion, the first to take a stand. I won't play it safe and wait for a sign. I'm gonna throw myself out there and let my light shine. Let it shine, let it shine. I'll let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Ow! I'll be on Oprah and Conan, 60 Minutes and The View. They'll all be talking about me and all the things I do. I'll be the one who sets the bar, the one who's in the know. Vogue will come to me to see where fashion trends will go. 'Cause I shine, yes I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. For too many years I hid my light, fearing I was too much and who I was just wasn't right. Then I heard this voice from within and up above saying, you're here to be a shining light and give and receive love. So I'm going for my dreams, nothing's in my way. Carpe diem is my mantra, I practice kindness every day. I take time to connect, I take time to have fun. I wanna know I've used up every drop before my life is done. So I shine, yes I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Wasn't right. Then I heard this voice from within and up above saying, you're here to be a shining light and give and receive love. Give and receive love. I am a woman of power, a woman of grace. The life that I've lived is in every wrinkle on my face. And I love myself so I can love you too. And I know when we're connected there ain't nothing we can't do. So let's shine, let's all shine. Let's let our big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. I see you shine, shine. Yes you shine, shine. I see your big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Watch me shine, oh I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Shine, yeah, let's all shine. Let's let our big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine.
Celebration Center for Spiritual Living. And as you can see, we have up-leveled our technology, and we're trying to up-level ourselves to up-level to the technology. So thank you for your continued patience as we all just get better and evolve together. If you don't know who I am, my name is Reverend Chris Ashley. I'm the senior minister here at Celebration Center for Spiritual Living. We're physically located in Falls Church, Virginia, but of course, we have beloved community all over the globe, and we have committed to making as much as possible, which is almost everything, available, whether you are here in person in the room or if you are joining us online because you live far away, don't want to get out of bed, don't want to change out of your pajamas, whatever your reason is, we are so glad that you are joining us this morning. So, if you are here joining us online, the only way that we get to know that you're here is if you say good morning in the chat. So we invite you to do that. And if you are joining us for the first time, we have a QR code for you. So I know, right, y'all? There was like ooze in the room. Oh, it does match my outfit. How about that? So if you know what a QR code is, you can use your smartphone to scan that code, and it's going to take you to a form where you can fill out and let us know that you're here for the first time. And there's all kinds of options for getting our newsletter, or if you just want to remain anonymous, you can do that also, but we would love for you to check in and tell us who you are. Also, we have an awesome service planned for this Sunday. I know, I say it every week, but it's true every week. We have Judy Blaze as our practitioner on platform. Yay, Judy! We have Lynn Hollyfield, our illustrious music director, giving us music this morning. And we have a super amazing, I was going to use a different word, but amazing tech team in the back of the room who is up-leveling all this technology and just doing so many amazing things in the back of the room. So yay, tech team. And then I will be giving the message, and I'm talking about The Body Remembers Today. And this has been quite the rabbit hole that I have dove down this week. So I'm excited to talk about this with y'all. So we have just a couple of announcements today. First of all, happy Father's Day to all of the fathers. If you're joining us online, happy Father's Day. We'll have a blessing in a little while. If you're joining us in the room, we do have a gift for you over on the table, so feel free to grab one of those books, and they have a bookmark in them that are handmade just for you to take with you. And today is the final day to turn in your ministerial review. So you can do it in person. You probably got a letter in the mail if we know who you are. Or you can go online to do that. And if you go to our website, it's on the home screen right there. Or if you are here in the room and you forgot to fill it out, that's okay. They're right over there on the table. Just grab one and fill it out before you leave. Drop it in the offering basket, okay? We want to get your feedback. I want your feedback. I welcome it, all of it, good, bad, or otherwise, because all of it supports me in being the best minister that I can be for y'all, and it supports us in being the best sinner that we can be together. Next, we have Flat Ernest. And so we have a Flat Ernest picture that came to me this morning from Beth Carmen. And y'all, I have to tell you what she said. She said, Ernest enjoyed going topless to CCSL this fine Sunday morning because she has a convertible. Y'all, I laughed really hard. So there's Ernest going topless to church this morning. Lynn asked if he was flapping in the wind or if he was seatbelted in. We never got an answer, but I am so loving the pictures that are coming in. And you can pick up your Flat Ernest. Craig's holding it up over there. I have one as well over here. And if you are online, it's on the website. Download it, and all the information of how to get the pictures to us so they can go up on our website are there. And with all of that, I invite us to an opening song. Okay.
We're gonna, I hope you'll sing along with us. Blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and all I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and all we do is a blessing to the world, a blessing to the world, a blessing to the world.
Good morning. What a week. Happy Father's Day, happy Juneteenth, and happy solstice. So as we enter this sacred time in our service, I invite you to remember our vision as we say it aloud together. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. Now I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Feel how you're supported by your chair and the ground beneath your feet. Focus on your heart center, becoming aware of this love light expanding in your chest and radiating out into the world as we breathe together. Each breath has 3 parts: an inhale, a pause, and an exhale. So breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Just take a minute to continue experiencing this light radiating out from your chest. Connect to the love light of our beloved community, those in the room, online, and watching in the future. So I invite you to stay in the sacred space as I read today's reading. The first quote is from Kelly Robbins in the Science of Mind magazine for this month. The physical body represents many things in a variety of spiritual traditions. While many believe our body temporarily houses our soul while we have our earthly adventures, another way to look at it is that we do not have a soul. Instead, we are a soul in a body right now. Our body is a vessel to experience life in a world. My body is the temple holding my soul. The following are various quotes that help me remember the sacredness of my body and the importance of loving it. From Thich Nhat Hanh, to be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to be accepted by others. And Nahara Wahid, I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. It took a long breath and replied, I have been waiting my whole life for this. Stop trying to fix your body. It was never broken. Eve Ensler. No amount of self-improvement can make up for any lack of self-acceptance. Robert Holden. People often say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I say that the most liberating thing about beauty is realizing that you are the beholder. Salma Hayek. To love yourself right now, just as you are, is to give yourself heaven. Don't wait until you die. If you wait, you die now. If you love, you live now. Alan Cohen. Do not apologize for your sacred body. All of you is holy. Ashley Asti. Your body is the piece of the universe you've been given, the place where love and joy and grief happens, where happiness unfolds. Janine Roth. And from Alien Ant Farm, come inside, kneel. Remember what you hear, and I'll be still right here. Remember who built your home. I built you, flesh and bone. And lastly, from Rumi, I dance the 1,000 dances of love, all returning to you. Come and I shall dance with you. I shall show you the brilliant crystal fires shining within. I shall show you the beauty deep within your soul. I shall show you the path beyond heaven. Dance, and your illusions will blow in the wind. Dance and make joyous the love around you. Dance, and your veils which hide the light shall swirl in a heap at your feet. So, as we move into the center of our holy body vessel, let's allow the divine love that I am to wash through every atom, molecule, and cell. I am in awe of the beauty and intricacy of this home for my infinite consciousness. Every part of me is beloved. All that I am is sacred. I am one with my source. I am one with all that is. I know that all the qualities of this divine source are my qualities: wholeness, abundance, peace, creativity, wisdom, and joy. I know the infinite presence of love is who I am. I know that everyone here is one with these qualities. I am one with the creative power as I speak the word of truth. I now speak this truth. Each of us here, in person or online, is the divine expression of pure love. Every sensation in our bodies, every movement, every bodily system is governed by infinite love and divine intelligence. The life force from source flows through us with ease, honored, blessed, released. We are open to experience radiant health aligned with the divine blueprint of our body temples. Love flows through all our interactions and relationships, creating harmony and joy. Each of us is lavishly supported on every level of our being. We are open to receive the unobstructed flow of abundance. We're blessed as we realize we are the beloved of the infinite goodness that is our very essence. My heart is full of gratitude to know and affirm these words as real, and that this prayer is acted upon by the immutable law that always responds with yes. I release it now, knowing it is done. It is complete, and so it is.
Okay, I'm going to do a song. This is called These Are Days, and Natalie Merchant sang it many years back, but it's a beautiful tune. These are days you'll remember, never before or ever since. I promise, will the whole world be warm as this? And as you feel it, you'll know it's true, that you are blessed and lucky. It's true that you are touched by something that'll grow and bloom in you. These are days you'll remember, when May is rushing over you with desire to be part of the miracles you see. And every hour you'll know it's true, that you are blessed and lucky. It's true that you are touched by something that'll grow and bloom in you. These are days. These are the days you might fill with laughter until you break. These days you might feel a shaft of light make its way across your face. And when you do, you'll know how it was meant to be, and see the signs and know their meaning. It's true that you'll know how it was meant to be, and hear the signs and know they're speaking to you, to you.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. I saw some heads bopping and some dancing going on. Oh. So, again, happy Father's Day to all of the fathers or father figures out in the world. And as Mother's Day, I think Father's Day can have some mixed feelings that are associated with it. And yet, the only thing that we tend to see in our culture is that you're supposed to be happy and you're supposed to be, this and that, and you should, right? And so I have a series of blessings today for Father's Day. And at the end, I have a blessing for all of us to give to all of the fathers. And that will go up on the screen so that everybody can read it together aloud. And so I invite you to just take a deep breath and think about whatever your relationship is to this role of father. whether it's your role as a father or your father that you have had in your life, or perhaps that you haven't had in your life, and to just listen to these various blessings and take in what is yours to take in. So this is a Father's Day prayer of blessing for those who do not know who their father is. May you have peace in the not knowing. May your longing for a father be satisfied in the divine masculine. May spiritual fathers come alongside you to fill that earthly father role. To those who have absent, abusive, or strained father relationships, may you find healing for the hurts and restoration for the needs fathers are supposed to fulfill. May you find courage to be honest yet honoring of your father. For those who have lost their fathers, may you be comforted in your mourning and grief. May you remember the good, heal from the bad, and find spiritual fathers that fill in the gaps. For those with good father relationships, may the years be long as you treasure every moment with your dad. May your children's children reap the benefits of your relationship with your father. For men who long to be fathers, may you find peace in knowing that divine timing is unfolding through this challenge. May you be surrounded by those who can offer genuine support and not just cliche encouragements. May your father's heart be recognized regardless of if you have children. Fathers of children they may never know, may your father's heart still be felt by your children. May you have the opportunity to make right any mistakes you made in the past. Fathers who have had their children taken from them, may you be filled with forgiveness for yourself and whoever was involved in taking your children. May you still be honored as the father you are. Men who have stepped up to father another's children, may your children honor and receive you well. May the modifiers of adoptive, foster, or step, or otherwise seem unnecessary in the light of your fathering presence. For women who have pulled double duty as both father and mother, may you have a double portion of grace to carry such weight alone. May you have loving people in your life step up to support you as you support and raise your children. Fathers who have lost children, may you find comfort in your mourning. May you forgive yourself for blame that was never yours to carry. May your children live on in the memories you cherish and the loved ones they leave behind. Fathers of estranged children, may the wounds that brought distance be healed. May you forgive and be forgiven. May the years lost be restored. Men who chose not to be fathers, may you feel respected in your choice to abstain and not treat it as less than. May you be honored as a man in the nurturing masculine energy you bring to those in your life. Fathers who are afraid they aren't enough, may you be honored for all that you are and filled where you feel you are lacking. May you rest in knowing that you are always enough. Men who are fathers, may your children's children receive the inheritance of your love. May men be inspired and heartened by your example. May nations change because of your faithfulness. May you long enjoy the honor and reward due to such a high calling. And now I invite you to raise your hands and bless the fathers with me. We bless you today and hold you in high esteem. We honor the love, joy, sadness, heartache, times of laughter, and times of tears that being a father has brought to your life. We recognize the powerful way that you have changed lives and made the world a better place through nurturing and loving children. We are so grateful for your presence in our community and for the deep love you share with us. And so it is. And today there's just a lot of things going on, y'all. So today is also Juneteenth. It is celebrated on June 19th of every year. And it is the day that it is the celebration of the Emancipation Proclamation being enforced. So the Emancipation Proclamation was signed at the beginning of the year in 1863, and we're kind of taught in history that, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, and then all the slaves went free, and everybody was happy and lived happily ever after, right? But that's not what happens. Instead, troops had to go around and enforce the Emancipation Proclamation. Either people way out in the outskirts hadn't heard that it had happened, or more likely, owners of enslaved people decided not to tell them that they were free. And so it took troops going to them and enforcing the Emancipation Proclamation for everyone to finally go free. And so on June 19th, 1863, troops marched into Galveston Bay, Texas, which was the furthest point, the point they hadn't gotten to yet. And they freed all of those enslaved people. And so Juneteenth is the celebration of the actual day of independence where everybody in the country was free for the first time. We celebrate 4th of July and we call it our Independence Day. And yes, the country was independent from Britain, and yet within the country there were still a lot of people that didn't have that independence and freedom. And so we celebrate Juneteenth. And so happy Juneteenth. And I thought it was really interesting that this day, that Juneteenth fell on the day that we're talking about, the body remembers. Now, I have thought a lot about this idea that the body remembers. And I think I told y'all a couple of weeks ago that I was a certified tantrika and I did all of this body work, right? And so I was taught how to work out emotional knots in various parts of our bodies. And that, often that's why you are emotional and kind of fragile after massages and things like that, is because those physical knots that you have in your body, that's not just a physical knot, that's actual emotion and feeling that has been stored there. And when you work those physical knots out, it can be released. And so that's why you get to drink extra water and be extra gentle with yourself, and you may need extra sleep, and you may even find yourself being more emotional or crying or having past memories come up or all of this stuff, because the body truly remembers and holds on to all of this. And so often we hear about this idea that the body remembers from a place of trauma, right? And yes, the body remembers trauma. And it remembers everything else as well. So we're going to kind of talk a little bit about both of those things. And so what was so interesting to me about this idea of the body remembering falling on Juneteenth is something came to my mind called the Willie Lynch letter. Has anybody heard of the Willie Lynch letter here in the room? One person, Rev Ryan, they've heard of it because I talked about it all week. So the Willie Lynch letter and the Willie Lynch speech was a slave owner named Willie Lynch who gave a speech on how to control African Americans. And then he handed out a pamphlet of how to do this, of how to break African Americans so that they could be enslaved for generations. And in his speech, it was a method of control using torture, physical, mental, and emotional, and forced reproduction that would last, he said, a minimum of 300 years. And in fact, what he said is the black enslaved person, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self-refueling and self-generation for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. And he said it would last a minimum of 3 years. And he gave this speech and handed out this pamphlet in 1712. So a minimum of 300 years would have been 2012 that this indoctrination lasted until. And when I was doing research on this, and of course, people haven't been enslaved in a couple hundred years, at least not in the way that we think about slavery happening, right? And yet I was reading this document. You can find it online. It is very difficult to read, so, warning, trigger warning. But I was thinking about this idea of the body remembers. And I was thinking about how we carry our ancestors' DNA in our body. And so therefore we do carry ancestral trauma. And so as we look at Juneteenth and we look at how far we have come in civil rights and how far we have left to go in civil rights, I think about the fact that what we're really doing is we're really weeding out the trauma out of our physical bodies and out of the physical bodies of African American people and of people that have been enslaved or that have been uprooted from their homes, and that this work is profound and it's deep and it's hard. And I also think about, as we're talking about trauma, that the first people that had to kind of rip their own hearts out to be able to treat people like that were white people. That you can't do the things that happened when you are loving and have been treated lovingly and have had a great life. And so there's trauma. That's what I'm saying. There's trauma across the board, and we are the ones that we have been waiting for. We are the ones that are uprooting and healing this trauma. And so this comes out in physical symptoms. It comes out all sorts of ways. And, for me, so happy Juneteenth to everyone. And happy Juneteenth, and continue to work on your ancestral trauma. That is what I'm going to say about that. For me, the number one way that I know that my body remembers is last week I told y'all about my journey with anxiety and depression, right? And how this has been a sort of lifelong journey for myself. I actually remembered after I was telling y'all that story that in third grade, my parents spent like 6 months trying to figure out why my stomach hurt all the time. And they did this elimination diet and, let's take out dairy, or maybe she's allergic to wheat, or maybe she's allergic to this or that. And what they finally figured out was that I had anxiety. And we were moving from New Hampshire to North Carolina, and I didn't know what that was going to be like. And so it was very stressful for me, for my little 10-year-old body, right? And so what I realize now is that sometimes, and it doesn't happen super often, but it still happens, I will have all of the physical symptoms, the physiological symptoms of a panic attack with no mental symptoms. My mind won't be racing, not worried about anything, not stressed. Sometimes I'll just wake up having a panic attack and I'm like, really, body? This is what we've decided to do with our life today. Okay. But it's almost like those channels of anxiety have been cut into my body in such a way that my body just remembers. And it's like, oh, we haven't run these neural pathways in a while. Let's just let's clear out the cobwebs. Let's run those again, make sure that they're still there. They're still available to us if something traumatic does happen in the future, right? And it's interesting because now with it just being the physiological symptoms, it's very easy to recognize because my brain isn't freaking out. It's just my body. So I'm like, oh, we're just going to have a panic attack. That's what we're doing. And I have tools and things like that. And it's such an indication to me that my body remembers, right? And then I was thinking about if our bodies remember the trauma then they have to remember the good parts too. It's not a one-way street. It's both and. And so, our ancestors, almost every single ancestor made the ancestor after them in at least a moment of love, right? There were at least a few minutes there where there was some sort of love or connection or something like that. And so we are the culmination of thousands of moments of love coming together. And just as that trauma is housed in our body, so is that love. That love is running through our veins. That love is a part of our DNA. And that makes me feel just a little bit better, right? As I think about doing all of this work, it's like, yes, I get to uproot and figure out all of this stuff and what am I going to do and how am I going to fix this? But it's okay because my body also holds the answers. It also holds the love. It also holds the blessings of how to do that. And then I started thinking about how much I have forgotten over my lifetime consciously, right? Like, how many moments do you not remember of your own lifetime? And how many good things? And, oftentimes we'll go through old boxes of stuff that were in the attic or the basement or the back of the closet, in my case, and all of a sudden these memories come flooding back, right? Or we'll smell a smell, and these positive, amazing memories will come flooding back into our conscious from, I believe, our body, not even our subconscious, it's our body remembering. And so then, I can take a little bit of a deep breath because what I know is that my body is in partnership with me in this remembering, that I don't have to remember every good thing and every second of my life because my body's got it. It's got it. It's doing it, right? And so I think about, how my body remembers the birth of my son. And I think about how my body remembers my first kiss, right? And it's something that none of us really, I don't think about my first kiss very often. It was quite a while ago, right? And yet when I say that, everyone here has a memory that pops up, right, of your first kiss, that first moment. And your body helps you remember that. And I think about the first time I met Ryan. And what's interesting about that is that Ryan and I went to school together. We went to ministerial school together, so we saw each other off and on then. And then we got really close last year when I started attending their ministry and things like that. And so I have all of the memories of us getting closer and coming together and our engagement and all of these beautiful things, right? But the actual first time I met Ryan, I don't actually remember that very well because I was visiting their center in Raleigh, North Carolina for my practitioner license. And so I had a lot going on. I was paneling for practitioner. I was with my group of friends. I was running around. I was doing this. I was doing that. I was paneling. I was nervous, all of these emotions and all of this stuff. Now, Ryan remembers me, but I don't remember them that well. I have like a fleeting little memory of like meeting this person because they were there to help with all of the stuff. They were already a practitioner. But I don't have a strong memory of it. But I can be like, you know what? It's okay because I know that my body holds the memory of that moment of meeting my beloved before I knew that they were my beloved, right? And so we can just relax a little bit and trust our bodies and trust that even as they remember the negative things and we get to work with them and heal those things, that they're also holding for us all of the beauty of our lives, all of the joy, all of the brilliance. And so, Linda Hogan in Dwellings, A Spiritual History of the Living World, she says, "Suddenly, all my ancestors are behind me. Be still," they say. "Watch and listen. You are the result of the love of thousands." And not only are you the results of the love of thousands, but your body remembers that. Your body knows that somewhere. And so we can just relax a little bit. Now, the other thing that I think about is that as we're doing this healing work, as we're uprooting our own trauma, our ancestral trauma, the trauma of people in our birth family, the trauma of people in our shared history, all of those things, we often feel like, or at least I have had this concern, that if I go down that rabbit hole, I'll never come out. It looks like a deep, dark pit, right? If I start crying, I'm never going to stop. Or if I get angry at the things that happened that were harmful to me when I was a child and I was innocent, that I'll never not be angry again, right? And yet we can trust our bodies. We can trust our bodies that there is enough love underlying all of that stuff that we can go into what seems like a dark cave, and there is an answer, there is another side, and we can trust that that cave, that the walls, even though the cave is dark, that the walls are made of the love that is remembered in our bodies. And I often think about it as, actually, I don't often think about it. I have thought about it as, when you look into a dark cave and you're standing in the light, you can't see anything in that cave, right? It looks black and scary, and you don't know what's in there, and dark, and all those things. And yet, as soon as you step in and you're in the shadow as well, all of that is all of a sudden, you can see it, right? You can see the cave, you can see what's in there, you can see the back, usually, right? All of those things. And so all it takes is trusting that love is holding this cave up, and that we can step in, and that we can trust our bodies to give us just enough to process and then bring us out, and give us just enough to process and bring us out. And so today, I think, as we think about what our bodies are remembering and what our bodies are housing, I know for myself that all of these negative things are the first things, are always what I have thought about. And it's actually not been until this week that I really started diving into the topic that I started thinking about all of the positive things that my body also remembers. And that to me has been very profound. It's been healing. It's been peaceful. It's been this sort of like, okay, can settle just a little bit more. And so today I have a tell us question for you. So I'm going to bring the microphone up. And if you are online, I invite you to write your answer into the chat. You're going to have a moment to think about it. So I'm going to ask the question. Lynn's going to play a song, and then we'll answer the question. And my tell us question, and this can be the positive good things, or it can be something that's maybe traumatic or upsetting. It's totally up to you. But what moments in your life do you think your body remembers? And for me, the answer to that question, if I was sitting out there listening to this, the answer to that question would be the birth of my son. And I think about all of the ways that my body changed after that, right? Like we talk about getting our pre-birth body back, but like that's not really a thing, right? Because there's something that's changed and shifted. There's something just a little bit different in that. And so I think that my body remembers the birth of my son, all of it, in a way that 15 years later, my conscious mind does not. So what moments in your life do you think your body remembers?
Okay. I'd like to share a song. This is called Perfect As You Are, and it's by a group I've really come to love called Mamuse. Enter as you came here, child, perfect as you are. See the doorway open wide, perfect. as you are, and enter as you came here, child, with only one thing to do is to love yourself so darn wild. Only one thing to do, and all the guardians are in your favor. The moon recalls what you gave her, the light to reflect upon the waters perfectly, 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 perfectly as you are. Enter as you came here, child. No need to say a thing. Your heart is open. Rest inside. Your presence is the gift you bring. And a song will join you right by your side. For this lifetime with wings to soar, it's the song that lit your soul afire. It's the key to so much more. And all the nighttime distills around you. Gentle warrior, your heart has found you at last. This peace has found you at last, at last, at last, at last, at last, at last. And the song will join you for this lifetime with wings to soar. It's the song that lit your soul afire. It's the key to so much more. And all the nighttime distills around you. Gentle warrior, your heart has found you at last. This peace has found you at last, at last, at last, at last, at last, at last.
I'm going to use this microphone. Okay. Test. We didn't test this one. You got it? All right, awesome. So, what moments in your life do you think your body remembers? Or what moments in your life do you think your body remembers? Oh, all right. let's see. Beth Carmen says, my body remembers two things. First, graduating from college with my bachelor's 10 years after I started. Was so proud of how much I accomplished while dealing with multiple life challenges. And second, my beloved taking his last breath while in my arms on the side of the road. He didn't die alone, which was his worst fear. Thank you, Beth. Terry, is that a hand up? All right, we'll do Terry and then Craig. We'll do Craig and then Terry. Terry and then Craig. Okay, Terry.
I'm going to share something incredibly personal with some real trepidation. So with me, Holy Spirit. When I had my abortion in my 20s, intellectually, it was absolutely the right thing to do. I would still do it again today for all the reasons that we all know. But the night after, I had a series of dreams, and they were frantic animal searching. Where is it? Where is it? We can't find it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And then the next day, I was kind of weird, but the next night, I had another series of dreams, and they were bleak, gray. It's gone. Oh, it's gone. Now, emotionally, I didn't really connect with those things. I did not have that feeling of loss. And after those 2 days, I was fine. I don't consider it to be a traumatic experience. But I learned two things. One, the theme of this talk, my body has different ideas about things than my mind does. And number two, it really gave me politically, it really gave me an appreciation of both sides of the debate, that both sides have deeply held reasons for where they stand. So follow that one, Craig.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you. We so appreciate your vulnerability and openness. And you as well, Beth, your vulnerability and openness.
Well, good morning. I'm Craig Preston, Ed Preston's son, here for Father's Day from California. Thank you for the talk, the body remembers. And we've been through boxes of pictures the last few days, digging through the basement. And at times my parents thought that I wouldn't remember my grandmother. She passed away when I was 4.5. And so, but I would say, oh, no. I remember the love of my grandmother, and that I just have this memory of being 2, 3, 4 years old. We'd go visit Grandma's house, and me just being in a car seat in the back or something, whatever they had in those days, and just being aware that there's this figure bounding out of the house and taking me away from my parents, and everything's okay, and I'm hugged and held and loved so deeply, and yet I provided nothing for that woman except my sense of being. And so that lives with me on and on and on. So, thank you.
Thank you, Craig. These are profound stories. And thank you for your openness and vulnerability. Who else? What do you think your body remembers? Ed, come on up.
I've gotten to the point where just getting up out of the chair is difficult. But a number of years ago, I was in the Army, and I decided to make a career out of the service. And I decided I had to go all the way. So I applied for regular Army. And that also meant I had to do something like go to Ranger training or airborne school or something like that. and I decided to go to airborne school. And the memory that I have of my body doing something weird was the first time that I jumped out of an airplane. And you just soar and drop down there before the parachute opens. You're totally out of control. And you just float and fall. And then all of a sudden there's a jolt. That's the cord popping you first, and then the chute opens. But that soaring feeling of just going into nothingness was just an amazing experience. So.
Thank you, Ed. Anyone else? Yes, Stephanie, come on up.
So I've been going through old pictures too of growing up. And, I remember we moved a lot when I was growing up, and it always ended up well because my dad was always going to a better job or to go back to school or whatever. So it was always, it always ended up being fine. But my body does remember that feeling of anxiety when we were moving. Because we moved, when I was 4, when I was 5, when I was 7, when I was 10. And then we went to Venezuela for a year when I was 11. And, I do remember that, and I think I can feel at times now. I still have that anxiety with me, and it's not always about the current moment, but I think it is sometimes. So, and I also remember, along with those pictures, I remember my mom when I was really little and older, but I remember her cuddling me. Like I would wake up in the middle of the night with a bad dream, and I would run into my parents' room, and I would just jump into bed with my mom, and she would just wrap her arms around me, and I just felt so safe. And the other thing is, I'm getting a new hip on July 22nd. And it's been a few years coming, and I've been trying all kinds of things. But it's gotten to the point from where I said, no way to, do it tomorrow. And I remember what it feels like to walk. My body remembers what it feels like to walk with no pain and no restriction. And so I hope that happens again. Thanks.
Thank you, Stephanie. And we know that you will experience walking with no pain again very soon. So thank you, Ed, for your openness and vulnerability, and thank you, Stephanie, for your openness and vulnerability. And I think that this is a really good question. So we are out of time this morning, but please, by all means, go back into the chat later and add your stories in, and we would love to read them because I think that this is a profound question. And so now I invite you to just take a deep breath with me. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable, or soften your gaze. And what I know is that these stories lead us deeper into the feeling, the knowing, and the remembering of our own oneness and our own divinity. And that as we listen to one another and as we hear the things that our bodies and our minds and our souls have gone through that it just brings us closer to one another. It just reminds us that oneness is it, that there is truly only that one thing going on. And it shows up as each and every one of us, as all of these experiences, as our bodies, as every single piece of information, every emotion, every feeling, every idea, every experience that is housed and held in our bodies from our lifetime and the lifetimes of the people that have come before us. That all of this is truly the divine showing up as individualized expression. And so knowing all of this to be true, I just express my deep gratitude for the wisdom of our bodies, for the wisdom of that is represented here in this community. The people that are watching online, the people that will see this in the future, the people that are here in this room, that there is a collective, deep, profound, divine wisdom. And I am so grateful for it. And I am so grateful for every single body and the way that it has held and cared for all of us. And so I simply release my word. I let it go as I have spoken, and even greater. And I relax into my body. I trust my body, and I surrender as we say together. And so it is. And so this is the time in our service for our gifts and our offerings. And we have a fun QR code for that as well. So I got lots of oohs in the room. So if you would like to give a gift this morning, you can scan the QR code. Miriam's testing to see if it works. Did it? Yay! It works. It's woo! So you can scan that code with your phone, or you can go to celebrationcenter.org and click on the Give button. Either way, it takes you to our Secure Breeze website. And as you know, your presence is a gift in this community. Your body is a gift in this community, and we are so grateful for you. So if you are giving a gift or a tithe, a monetary gift or a tithe this morning, we are grateful. If you are simply giving your presence, your time, your treasures, your talents, we are so grateful for you. And now I would like to invite Judy in the room to do our offertory affirmation and a blessing.
To give and receive the blessings that our spirits promise to me. As I do, the entire universe conspires to give me an abundant life, and I open to accept it. And so it is. So we bless these gifts, knowing they carry the energy of the infinite abundance that flows continuously through all creation. As these offerings move through the center, we know that our programs prosper, uplifting and enriching our lives. We know the energy of love within each gift moves through the greater community, through the center's tithes. We infuse these gifts with gratitude, knowing they return to us multiplied. We give thanks for this unending cycle of receiving, giving, receiving. Affirming prosperity, I know that we flow through life with this infinite abundance, moving in and through us, our lives, and all beings everywhere. And so it is.
Our community affirmation together. No, repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. I am led by spirits. I am guided by wisdom. I am protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is.
Yes. All right. Yes. All right, we're going to sing this song. So if you're moved to stand up and move your bodies while you're singing along with me, it would be great. If you're able. Okay, so this is God Gave Me. God gave me one heart to love you. I'm gonna do that every day. I'm gonna do that every day. I'm gonna do that every day of my life. God gave me 2 ears to hear the word and 1 heart to love you. I'm gonna do that every day. I'm gonna do that every day. I'm gonna do that every day of my life. God gave me 2 eyes to see the miracles, 2 ears to hear the word, and 1 heart to love you. I'm gonna do that every day. I'm gonna do that every day. I'm gonna do that every day of my life. God gave me 2 hands to work for justice, 2 eyes to see the miracle, 2 ears to hear the word, and 1 heart to love you. I'm gonna do that every day. I'm gonna do that every day. I'm gonna do that every day of my life. God gave me 2 lips to sing hallelujah, 2 hands to work for justice, 2 eyes to see the miracle, 2 ears to hear the word, and 1 heart to love you. I'm gonna do that every day. I'm gonna do that every day. I'm gonna do that every day of my life. God gave me 2 legs to keep things moving, 2 lips to sing hallelujah, 2 hands to work for justice, 2 eyes to see the miracles, 2 ears to hear the word, and 1 heart to love you. I'm gonna do that every day. I'm gonna do that every day. I'm gonna do that every day of my life. God gave me 1 life to live in spirit, 2 legs to keep things moving, 2 lips to sing hallelujah, 2 hands to work for justice, 2 eyes to see the miracles, 2 ears to hear the word, and 1 heart to love you. I'm gonna do that every day. I'm gonna do that every day. I'm gonna do that every day of my life. Every day of my life. Every day of my life. All right, everybody.
Woo! Oh, and so I send us out in the joy and the blessing of this moment, knowing that our bodies will remember this moment and every new now moment moving forward. And so it is.